Lord, we come before you this afternoon heavy. None of us would have chosen the circumstances that have brought us here today.
Rittman is a small town with a big heart, and we are heartbroken, but we are not broken.
How do we distill all that Scott had done in a couple remarks? And how do we recognize the impact that this man had on each life that he touched?
Rittman Strong is Rittman Strong. We always say our motto is a small town with a big heart, and it shows.
That, of course, Sergeant Scott Ries there, as we all remember him, and the community of Rittman remembers him today. Welcome to 3 News at 4. I'm Christy Paul. That procession, by the way, is still underway. It started around 2 o'clock, and here is a shot as they go by the Rittman Police office there. Police Sergeant Scott Ries killed in the line of duty, of course, last weekend. That procession is on East Ohio Avenue there. And departments came together from all across the state today. This was something that was so meaningful to everybody in that community. We know more than 1,000 people came together today to honor Sergeant Ries. That turnout included law enforcement officers from across Ohio, standing shoulder to shoulder with family and friends and community members, all helping each other say goodbye to this man who was deeply respected and loved. We have team coverage tonight in Rittman, where our Aaron Sullivan spoke to residents who came to honor Sergeant Ries. We do want to start with Natalie Clydesdale, though, who talked to a longtime friend of his. Natalie, there are so many stories about this man today. What have you heard?
That's right, Christy. Well, the parking lot has cleared out, but it was a very emotional service today. From the moment you pulled up to the church, it was clear just how many lives Sergeant Scott Ries had touched. There were family members, friends, members of the community, and officers from agencies across Ohio, including the Ohio State Highway Patrol, Columbus Police, Ohio State University Police, Cleveland Metro Parks Police, and departments across Wayne and Summit counties, all here to honor Sergeant Scott Ries. And inside the church was filled to standing room only, with people having to move out into the hallway. This afternoon, I talked with a man, Bill Nofsinger, who said he had been friends with Ries for nearly 3 decades.
This is the first time I've ever been to something like this, and it's amazing to see the turnout of all of our first responders. It's just amazing. And he had so many plans, and for his life to be taken in this quick, it's unbelievable.
Nofsinger said the crowd reflected the impact that Ries had on so many. He also said that Ries was the kind of person who had a heart of gold and never hesitated to help others. Christy, will hear more from him tonight at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we learned so much today about his character. If anybody did not know him before this, I kind of feel like we all know him now to some degree. Natalie, thank you so much. Aaron Sullivan with us now as well. I know that you spoke with Rittman residents. There is this lasting, overriding feeling there among them who say this moment feels so personal to them. What do they tell you, Aaron?
Christy, absolutely, and we've said it so many times before that this may be a smaller community, but really the residents here, they have the biggest hearts. You can even see behind me as this procession is still ongoing, so many people here are lining the streets, and I will note, it's pouring. It may have let up a bit now, the rain, but they were out here earlier and they've never left their spots. We spoke with so many people who said that they either knew Sergeant Ries or they just had family who were in the police force, even firemen families, or firefighters, I should say. But no matter their reason for being here today, they could all agree that they landed on one common theme, and that's how special this Rittman community is. I actually spoke with one resident who told me that first responders in Rittman always went the extra mile to make sure they were a part of this neighborhood.
They're always trying to talk to us. If you drive around here in the middle of the day, there's police officers playing with the kids, walking around, talk to you. Whenever I was a kid, I always used to get stickers as kids. It's just a great place to be.
We also know, in addition to the community showing their support, police departments in surrounding areas covered shifts for officers today so they could honor Sergeant Ries. Norton, Doylestown, and members of Wayne County Sheriff's Department are here. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we spoke with one woman who brought her family here to show them the importance of the men and women who put their lives on the line to protect their community. Christy?
And we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, Northside Christian Church in Wadsworth was filled with emotion and full of faith today. Lindsay Buckingham shows us more of what happened there.
This is what it looks like when a community loses a hero. Hundreds packed inside Northside Christian Church to honor the life, service, and sacrifice of Rittman Police Sgt. Scott Ries. There's nothing easy about escorting your brother on his final ride.
There are many who are broken.
Yet shoulder to shoulder, they did. Sergeant Ries spent nearly 3 decades wearing a badge, serving, protecting, showing up every day for the people, only part of what made him exceptional.
He was a protector. He was a provider. He was a servant who put the needs of others ahead of the needs of himself.
To those who knew him best, he was a great friend, loving husband to Michelle, devoted father to daughters Abby and Maddie.
More than anything, he was a dad. When I talked with his wife, Michelle, and with the girls, that's what came first. Girl dad. He loved it.
His heart, as big as his presence.
And people who didn't know him will admit now that he could be intimidating clear across the room. But everyone who actually knew him tells the same story with a laugh. Underneath all that size was a teddy bear.
When it mattered most, Sergeant Scott Ries gave his life the same way he lived it, putting others first.
And when we lose someone like that, the question turns to us. What do we do now? Here's what we do. We pick up where he carried. It's not the badge, but the love. That's how Scott keeps protecting us. Through every one of us who chooses to live the way he lived.
Sergeant Ries, your mission is complete. Your brothers and sisters now have the watch.
Sergeant Ries's loved ones also shared that his true happy place was being outdoors and on his boat out on Lake Erie. We'll share more of what made him so special and beloved coming up at 5 and 6.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing, the impact that he has left. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Lindsay. Looking forward to that second part of the story there. And I have to note, tomorrow is going to be another really tough day in Rittman. Christine McWilliams and her daughter, McKinley, will be laid to rest. Dozens of people lined the streets of Rittman Wednesday as their procession to the funeral home turned into this outpouring of grief, helping bring the mother and daughter home and making sure that they didn't arrive alone. We spoke with McKinley's classmate, who said she and her mother were the kind of people who just made you smile. We'll have the latest, of course, throughout the evening right here on 3 News and the weekend. You can also scan the QR code to download the WKYC app and watch our coverage for free. And you can get the latest details sent straight to your phone. So again, just scan that QR code you see there to download the app. It is free.